Omniscience. Now we will read the chapter on Baba's omniscience. Maharaji's appearance had a childlike innocence. He welcomed people openly, and they in turn talked freely to him. If someone requested Baba to speak, he would feign ignorance and say he didn't know anything. He directed his words to individuals rather than groups. Likewise, displays of knowledge or oratory did not impress Baba, who said that even the children in India were proficient at this. He called lectures or sermons the gymnastics of words and said, whatever we experience through the mind and the senses is not the truth. Baba's knowledge, like the great prophets Christ, Kabir, Ramakrishna, Muhammad, and St. Peter's, encompassed universal truth far deeper than academic knowledge. Living in a simple manner among ordinary people, Baba taught by his own conduct and caused an awakening in them. The past, present, and future were all within Baba's vision, but it was only through his Leela that one could catch a glimpse of his vastness. As described in the accounts that follows, Maharaj would see into the minds and hearts of people and reading their innermost thoughts use his power to relieve suffering, faith, and fulfill desires. The removal of doubt. In May 1944, I had Maharaj Darshan for the first time at a house in Run Square, Lucknow. Upon returning from my office, I found that members of my family were getting ready to go and see Baba. He had just arrived in the neighborhood and they asked me to accompany them. I did not know Baba then, and while I was always secretly gave reverence to those wearing sadhu's clothes, I generally kept myself apart from them because I could not tell the difference between a real holy man and a fake. I did not agree to go with them because I would not be able to offer salutations to Maharaj, and since this meeting was in neighbor's home, I felt this would be disrespectful to all. Somehow I also felt that I did not go or even make an effort to find out who Baba was. When everybody was gone, I sat and meditated on Baba. I told him about my inner conflict and asked him to either send for me or come to my house and give me darshan. I told him I knew that he could do this if he was a saint. At that very moment, in my neighbor's house, Baba asked my sister, where is your brother? Why has he not come here? She tactfully replied that I had just returned from my office and was at home. Baba commanded her, go and fetch him, bring him here. I was surprised when my sister arrived and told me all that happened. It removed my doubt, and I at once bowed at Baba's feet in reverence. He turned his eyes away from me immediately. He did not say anything to me. He got up and went away with another neighbor, Gargi Dutt Mishra, to his house. All the others followed him, and I came back home alone, upset. I again meditated on Baba and prayed to him to come to my house and give me darshan. After a short while, I saw Maharaj coming to my house with some other devotees. We welcomed him and lay him on a takat, talking to everyone as I massaged his feet. Though I was quite eager to talk to him, he did not look towards me. He then got into a car and left. Baba had fulfilled all my preconditions, but I still could not get peace of mind. How could I? My uneasiness was the ugly consequence of testing a Siddhartha. 8 years later, I again had Baba's darshan at Allahabad, Tagore town. I felt that the long wait was my penance. Holding me by the hand this time, he took me outside and in a secluded place he started humming. Ramahi Keval Prem Pyare. The only thing that is dear to Ram is love. Indeed, the only access to Baba is through love. Baba's holding the hand of someone has its own significance. It meant that he had accepted the person. I have been closely associated with my beloved and revered Baba ever since then, and sometimes he gratified us by coming to our home. Feeding children. A few year visitors were coming to Kachi, for it was October and getting cold in the hills. One day at 2 p.m., Kundanlal Shah, an engineer, was going from Ranikhet to his home in Bareilly. On the way, he stopped his car at the ashram and went in to have darshan. Babaji's darshan. There are only 4 people with Baba. After some time, many elderly people arrived from Nainital and asked all of them to prepare puris in the kitchen. Shah said that he could not understand why so many ladies would be preparing so much food when there were only 4 people with Baba and all the inmates had already taken prasad. It came to his mind that there must be some other reason for preparing so much of puris and vegetables. At about some 7 p.m., two buses full of scouts from Rajasthan arrived unexpectedly at the gates of the temple. They were touring the hill and arrived at the ashram via Dwara Ghat and Rani Khet. Baba was very happy to see the children and made them eat to their heart's content on the path to God. Later one evening, Shrima and Sri Jivantima and some other women devotees arrived in Kachi for Baba's darshan. Baba was not there. He had gone to Bhimiyadhar. There was no buses at the time to return to Nainital or to travel to Bhumiyadhar. However, Shri Ma and Shri Jivan Ma decided to go and see Baba. They did not take prasad at Kachi because both mothers ate only after having Maharaji's darshan. They decided to walk the 12 kilometers to Bhumiyadhar in the darkness of the night on that lonely deserted road. As they started on the way, a black dog appeared out of the darkness and accompanied them as if there was for their protection. When they arrived at Bhumiyadhar at midnight, Shrima thought of giving the dog some food. Almost in an instant, the dog disappeared and could not be found anywhere. Before Shrima and Sri Jivantima appeared, Maharaj Ji asked Brahmachari Ji to prepare food for them. Brahmachari Ji waited outside the temple to greet them, and as soon as they arrived, they had Maharaj Ji's darshan. He praised them for the devout fervor and said, "When you have started on the path of God, proceed. Do not stop. He will take care of you." He then asked them to go and have prasad. A devotee's sentiments. Bhuvan Chandra always took an offering when he went to Baba's darshan. One day, Tiwari saw some small pears in a shop in Bhowali and selected a kilogram of good ones with the thought that whichever pear Baba chose to eat, it should be tasty. After washing them carefully with love, he put them in a bag and went to the temple in Bhumiyadhar. Maharaj was sitting on a roadside parapet a short distance from the temple. He was surrounded by devotees who were offering him good quality food, sweets, and expensive dried food. Tiwari put his simple bag of pears before Baba. While talking to people, Baba ate all the pears one by one and smilingly handed the empty bag to Tiwari. He distributed the offerings of the other devotees among the people present. Tiwari was touched by how Baba valued the sentiment behind the offering. A lie. One day Karanveer Singh returned home from school. Baba was at his house and asked him, "Why did you take so long? I have been waiting for you since a long time." Karanveer Singh replied, "I have come straight from college." Baba at once said, "It's a lie. You are deceiving Baba. You were free at 1 and it is 4 o'clock. Why don't you say that you were roaming around with your friends?" Baba then gave the names of the friends he had been with. Karanveer was dumbfounded. Baba laughed loudly and said, "You can lie to your father. He is a simple man, but you can't deceive Baba." Unexpected darshan. Mahavir Singh loved the company of ascetics and saints, and he regularly attended to their needs. One day in early 1940s, when he was in his round at the Agra cantonment, he came across a bulky man of around 45 years. The man was wearing half his dhoti and remaining half covering the upper half of his body. The man spoke to Mahavir amiably. "Mahavir Singh, how are you keeping now?" Mahavir replied, "I'm much better." The man then asked, "How's your liver pain?" Mahavir replied, "It's a little less." The man said, "It'll be all right." Both of them began walking together. Then Mahavir said, "I do not remember you." Putting his hand gently on Mahavir's shoulder, the man said, "I am Baba Neem Karoli." Mahavir had heard about Baba, but at the moment he felt bewildered by his closeness. In the unexpected presence of Baba, he could not think of what to say to him. Baba said, "Let us go to your house." They went, and since that time, Mahavir Singh has always had his grace. Baba gave him darshan every month for 6 years, and Mahavir kept a takat and blanket ready for him.